some tough questions, straightforward questions coming to the fore for the Aam Aadmi Party from the BJP, and emotional Manjinder Singh Sirsa questioning why Aam Aadmi Party leaders, ministers have battery of gunmen along with them, and why other prominent citizens of the state have their security withdrawn, unfortunately, due to which we have seen the death or the murder of Sidhu Moosewala. How many more are in the waiting is what the BJP is asking. How many more before the Aam Aadmi Party wakes up and acts is the question the Bhagwant Mann government faces today. At about 5:45 p.m. today is when Sidhu Moosewala and his entourage came under attack. 20 to 30 bullets were fired on their vehicle, in which he lost his life. The two people that he was with are critically injured. They now have been shifted to a specialty hospital in Ludhiana. Was this a security lapse on part of the Aam Aadmi Party government? Did they not make the required threat assessment before taking a decision of withdrawing his security? Those are the questions that the Aam Aadmi Party needs to come out and answer. It's not us that is asking those questions. Security analysts, political parties are asking that question. Let's cut across to some more reactions coming in.
Family members civil hospital move किया गया. Mr. Sidhu Moosewala was declared brought dead to the hospital. ਜਿਹੜੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਦੇ ਦੋ ਸੀਗੇ ਦੋਵੇਂ ਸਟੇਬਲ ਕੰਡੀਸ਼ਨ ਤੇ ਤੇ ਫਰਦਰ ਟ੍ਰੀਟਮੈਂਟ ਲਈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਟਿਆਲਾ ਹਸਪੀਟਲ 'ਚ ਰੈਫਰ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗਿਆ. ਪ੍ਰੀਲਿਮਿਨਰੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਨਵੈਸਟੀਗੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਆਈ ਹੈ that the matter ਜਿਹੜਾ ਮੈਟਰ ਹੈਗਾ seems to be a case of inter-gang rivalry ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਲਾਰੈਂਸ ਬਿਸ਼ਨੋਈ ਗੈਂਗ ਤੇ ਲੱਕੀ ਪਟਿਆਲ ਗਰੁੱਪ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਖੇਪਾਦੀ ਚੱਲਦੀ ਪਈ ਹੈ ਉਹਦੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੰਮ ਕੀਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਹੈਗਾ ਇਸ ਪਿਓਰਲੀ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਗੈਂਗ ਮੈਂਟਲ ਹੈਗਾ ਇਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ. ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਮਿਸਟਰ ਸਿੱਧੂ ਮੂਸੇਵਾਲੇ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਟੋਟਲ 4 ਗਨਮੈਨ ਸੀਗੇ. 2 ਗਨਮੈਨ ਘੱਲੂਕਾਰਾ ਦਿਵਸ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਮਰਜੈਂਟ ਲਾਅ ਐਂਡ ਆਰਡਰ ਡਿਊਟੀ ਦੇ ਲਈ ਵਿਡਰਾਅ ਕੀਤੇ ਗਏ ਸੀ, ਪਰ 2 ਗਨਮੈਨ ਕਮਾਂਡੋ ਦੇ ਮਿਸਟਰ ਸਿੱਧੂ ਮੂਸੇਵਾਲੇ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸੀਗੇ. ਮਿਸਟਰ ਸਿੱਧੂ ਮੂਸੇਵਾਲਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਵੱਲੋਂ ਹੀ ਆਪਣੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗਨਮੈਨ ਸਟਾਫ ਹੈ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਘਰ ਛੱਡ ਕੇ ਗਏ ਸੀ, ਨਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ. ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਮਿਸਟਰ ਸਿੱਧੂ ਮੂਸੇਵਾਲੇ ਕੋਲ ਇੱਕ ਬੁਲਟ ਪ੍ਰੂਫ ਗੱਡੀ ਸੀਗੀ ਤੇ ਅੱਜ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਬੁਲਟ ਪ੍ਰੂਫ ਗੱਡੀ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਗਏ ਸੀ. ਇਸ ਤੋਂ ਇਲਾਵਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਨਵੈਸਟੀਗੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਕਾਫੀ ਲੀਡਸ ਵੀ ਆ ਚੁੱਕੀਆਂ ਹਨ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ 'ਤੇ ਵਰਕ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਹਾਂ. ਇਮੀਡੀਏਟਲੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ FIR ਰਜਿਸਟਰ ਹੋ ਰਹੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਇਮੀਡੀਏਟਲੀ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਵੀ ਇਹਦੇ ਗੈਂਗਸਟਰਸ ਇਨਵੋਲਡ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਕ੍ਰਿਮੀਨਲਸ ਇਮੀਡੀਏਟਲੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਫੜ ਕੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਛੇਤੀ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਦੇਵਾਂਗੇ.
ਸਰ ਕੋਈ ਟ੍ਰੇਸ ਹੋਇਆ ਵੀ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ 2 ਗੱਡੀਆਂ ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ, ਕੌਣ ਸੀਗਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਇੱਕ BMW ਤੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਜਾ ਰਿਹਾ?
ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਪ੍ਰੀਲਿਮਿਨਰੀ ਇਨਵੈਸਟੀਗੇਸ਼ਨ ਪਾਇਆ ਇੱਕ ਬਲੈਰੋ ਗੱਡੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਇੱਕ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਕਾਰਪੀਓ ਗੱਡੀ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਆਲਟੋ ਕਾਰ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ.
Kamarzaman Chaudhary of the Congress with us on this broadcast. Arvind Singh, security analyst and author as well. Arvind Singh, I'd like to begin with you. Do you also think that this is a major security lapse? There wasn't enough threat perception assessment that was done before a decision was taken to withdraw his security?
If you analyze all the events in the past, I'm sorry to say that it appears to be a conspiracy because well, we all knew that in this entire elections and thereafter forming of this dispensation, the Khalistani and the ISI factor was very strong. And one is inclined to think that all the security was withdrawn just to facilitate this killing. Now remember, a chief minister of Delhi who threatens the Republic Day parade, and the law has done nothing about it till now. I mean, he's given security protection against whom? He was the one who threatened the Republic not once, but was also cahoots with those elements in that farmers' agitation who assaulted the Red Fort. So, I mean, these events were very well telecasted. I'm not speaking out of my hat. And then Mr. Sirsa gave out a list of all these protectees at the moment, Raghav, Chadha and all. I mean, what have they contributed to this nation to deserve this kind of this kind of a protection? And then you proudly, what you do is that you bring Punjab, you misuse the Punjab police to intimidate your own colleague Kumar Viswas. You misuse the Punjab police to intimidate Bakka. And then this gentleman has the gall to say that Delhi police should be under him. If that were to happen, India would unravel. And here is a case of where politics is getting horribly, mixed with internal security. And there has to be a constitution provision that if there is a chief minister who by any chance gets elected like this fellow has done, and also captured a border state, we must have ways and means to deal with such such anti-nationals. We all know, and I'm very sad. It's not that it is lost out on people who keep day-to-day watch on the activities. Am I wrong about Bagga? Am I wrong about Kumar Viswas? Now imagine this man is a megalomaniac. His smiles are so sinister. Each time I see his smile on those posters and etc., which is ubiquitous every day, this man appears to be like a psycho, a pathological murderer.
Right.
So I'm not surprised.
Right, a casualty of the political ambitions perhaps of the Aam Aadmi Party. Is that so? That is a question the Aam Aadmi Party will have to come and clarify on. But Kamar Zaman Chaudhary, was this a security lapse, the inexperience of Bhagwant Mann showing, or was this just done out of vendetta like many in the BJP are also alleging now?
No, one thing you see, Punjab being a border state, there is always a threat perception from the ISI-backed terrorist, or let's say the Khalistani threat is always there. Even Kumar Viswas has raised these issues. Even our own Chief Minister, Mr. Chadha, had raised this issue earlier also regarding the threat that is existing in Punjab. But this Aam Aadmi Party, I feel this is the a very big joke on the Indian democracy that Aam Aadmi Party is coming up and ruling 2 states in India. They will neither take any advice for advice on free, or nor they will do anything. They will just play to the gallery. The removal of the security forces or the personal security from different people in Punjab who faced a threat perception one point of time. Now, what do you do in such circumstances? You get a threat assessment. What is the threat to their personal securities? Then you upgrade or low grade their securities. But here what you have done is you have removed their security altogether, published that on social media that these are the people whose security has been removed permanently, and you wanted to show that look, we have removed, these people do not need the security for this. Now what happened? A leader like a very good singer like Moosewala, who had got a very big fan following in Punjab, was brutally murdered the next day that his security had been removed. Now who is going to be accountable? Who is going to be responsible for this? You can appoint some 90 odd people in your IT and publicity department on government's paycheck just to bandobast your Aam Aadmi Party's propaganda, but you don't have that much of sense that what the country is facing right now on our western border. The Congress Party has always said that we need to tackle issues with great caution. We have lost, we know what the pain is. We have lost 2 prime ministers from the Congress family to terrorists. One because of the Sri Lankan terrorist, and another because of the Punjabi terrorist. We have lost the entire state unit of Chhattisgarh to the Maowadis. That are the examples that are there in us, within ourselves. Then we need to protect the security. If we are such a helpless in providing security to these people, then they better reply. I believe by tonight Bhagwant Mann should be resigning from his post for such a lackadaisical and a worthless decision that he has taken on removing the security guards.
Right, spokesperson of the BJP is also with us on this broadcast. Jasmine Sandhawalia is with us, and we just heard Mr. Sirsa, an emotional press conference that the BJP just held, some very straight questions coming to the fore against the Aam Aadmi Party. Do you think it is also this publicity stunt, unfortunately, the price of which Sidhu Moosewala had to pay?
You see, there's a very right word which is being practiced by AAP, and that is known as agitprop, a propaganda that they do all the time. And it is a very unfortunate and a sad day for us in Punjab, for every political party and for every Punjabi, that we have lost a young man. And I want to ask the Chief Minister that how could he have taken a sweeping decision of withdrawing security of 424 people, and the first casualty has happened in 24 hours. There is a system of vetting. There is a system by the police to vet that what the threats are. Why was that not taken into care? This is nothing but a very, very sad and a murky system of doing propaganda. And I still feel that Bhagwant Mann understands Punjab, but he is a stooge of Arvind Kejriwal and Raghav Chadha, unfortunately, do not understand the dynamics of Punjab politics and do not understand what Punjab has gone through. And we are sitting like sitting ducks to be killed. And how the hell was the list published in the newspapers and Akal Takht Jathedar's security has been withdrawn, a man who must be under threat by ISI, and we are a border state. What is the government doing? What is Arvind Kejriwal? For heaven's sake, Mr. Kejriwal needs to understand that we are parked right next to Pakistan. And what is he doing with us?
Absolutely. The threat perception, not just of individuals, RSN Singh, but of the state and hence of the country is also something that the government in Punjab needs to look at. It is a border state. It is a sensitive area. Pakistan has been trying to foment trouble there along with its ISI company for decades together. Just in the recent past, we've seen so many of the drones that have been shot down. There was an RPG attack not too long ago in Mohali. These are the kind of threats that the state is facing. So it's not just about one particular individual or 400 in this case. It's about the entire state and consequently the entire country.
Mr. Moosewala had become very popular in Pakistan as a musician. Something which, to the chagrin of the fundamentalists in the Pakistan part of Punjab. And he was, remember the fundamentalists in Pakistan are, very, very scared of, the part of India, Punjab making inroads, cultural inroads into Pakistan part of Punjab. And what I am told, the moment this happened, I also started, contacting my sources, and they said that it is at the behest of these fundamentalists that he has been eliminated, because in the fundamentalist ideology, music is considered to be haram. So this has been very systematically done, by first withdrawing the security and then facilitating this. So man who can question surgical strike and becomes darling of Pakistan, man who says Batla House encounter was false, man who threatens the Republic Day parade, the man who says that I'm an anarchist. Now tell me, what is the difference between an anarchist and a terrorist? If somebody tells me the difference between an anarchist and a terrorist, so this killing has been carried out at the behest of the fundamentalist constituency in Pakistan's Punjab. Take it from me, and the truth will come out someday.
Absolutely, the truth will come out. And was it the lapses that are responsible for Sidhu Moosewala's murder? Was it the threat assessment or the lack thereof behind the decision of the state government that was responsible? All of that, the state government, the top cop of Punjab will have to come and answer. But at the moment, we have Professor D.K. Giri, who's a political analyst leaning towards the Aam Aadmi Party. And I'd like you to answer that, sir. What was the need to publicize the fact that 400 people, several of whom are prominent personalities, their security has been withdrawn? It was an open invitation, says the BJP.
Well, in a democracy, you cannot hide things. Like you have media, when you take an action, media gets to know about it and publicize. Even the government does not do it. But I'm amazed at the reactions by both Congress and BJP, and it shows that desperation and frustration at the phenomenal rise of Aam Aadmi Party, political rise. Like John Donne, famous poet, said, "Every death diminishes me. It is sad that the people have been murdered." But you cannot correlate withdrawing the security and the murder. You see, how do you establish unless there is some inquiry? And central government also reviews the security situation. We know so many from so many people, jet security, this security, and that.
Sure.
It is constantly reviewed. So point is, and the kind of personal attacks on Kejriwal, on Bhagwant Mann, and the Congress party was saying it is ridiculous. He was saying that they don't listen to people. If Congress party listened to people, they would not have been where they are now. And when you are saying it is joke on Indian politics, you are casting an aspersion on Indian voters. You see, they have voted with 2/3 majority in Punjab to Aam Aadmi Party to power. So how can you, that is legitimate, how can you question somebody who has been elected and you have been defeated badly? All your three leaders quarreling in public, washing dirty linens, were all voted out of power.
Professor Giri, like you've been saying, it's the people of Punjab that overwhelmingly voted the Aam Aadmi Party into power, which is exactly why these questions are being asked of them. That are they compromising with the security of the state?
Fair enough. No, I'll come to that, but don't question the legitimacy of Aam Aadmi government because they have been elected. And when you criticize their politics, you are criticizing the people who elected them. Now, coming to this matter, how does anyone establish that because security was withdrawn, he was unfortunately controversial position. He had enemies. If you did not withdraw the security, they would say that you are supporting a Khalistani sympathizer.
But isn't that the job of the intelligence agencies not to assess?
Your channel itself is saying, your channel itself is saying it was controversial. Now, BJP is not playing standard. You put us in a catch-22 situation. If we withdraw the security, they say he was vulnerable. If you do not withdraw, you have sympathy for Khalistani. What kind of politics is this? And they make an emotional press conference. That does not really justify a point or validate a point. So many securities have been withdrawn. So if it has been a lapse, inquiry will bring it out. And the party, the government, they will admit it. They will admit it.
We really do hope that they do, Professor Giri, but the BJP spokesperson would like to come in and answer some of the questions that you've raised against their party. Go ahead, Ms. Jasmine.
No, let me tell you. Please let me complete.
This is the murder.
Kejriwal apologized twice to Delhi electorate. This party is humble. They apologize, unlike Congress and BJP, who are arrogant. They never admit their mistakes. These people, if there is a lapse, they will admit it publicly and apologize.
I'm sorry to say this, Professor Giri, but an apology is not do much to the family of Sidhu Moosewala. Unfortunately, that life is not coming back. You might say this is just a coincidence that this happened right after his security was withdrawn, but nobody else is seeing this as a coincidence.
Has BJP admitted any of their mistakes in public? Tell me one instance you give me where BJP.
Let's talk about the instance at hand, sir. Let's talk about the instance at hand. We saw Bhagwant Mann and Arvind Kejriwal, who took to Twitter just a short while ago, and we appreciate that they did do so immediately, but both of them offered their condolences, they promised action, and they appealed for calm. I don't know what they were alluding to when they were appealing for calm and restraint, but there were no answers coming to the fore as far as whether or not this could have been a security lapse. If there was a threat assessment done for Sidhu Moosewala and the 400 plus others, including some famous personalities, some prominent personalities, important community leaders in Punjab, then the state government, Punjab police should come out and clarify on that.
Which central government is ruling. Look at the number of deaths every day of our army officers in Kashmir. Will Narendra Modi resign on that? Do you ever admit that you are ruling it directly? Who do you blame now? Aam Aadmi Party has taken 3 months ago the power in Punjab. You have been there for
So, Ms. Jasmine, the BJP can't claim moral high ground on this.
You made it union territory.
That's the allegation the Aam Aadmi Party would like to make against you.
Why are we digressing? Why is the gentleman digressing from the main subject? He's digressing. This is not agitprop and propaganda, which AAP specializes in. We have lost a young... We have lost
the mirror. I am showing you the mirror, madam. I am not digressing.
Professor Giri, you made your point. You've made that allegation against the BJP. Let the BJP also come out and clarify. Like you had your space to clarify, let the BJP do so too.
I was not debating with them. I was waiting for the instruction.
Go ahead, Ms. Jasmine.
It is very unfortunate that we are belittling a murder today, which has been condoned by the Chief Minister of Punjab and by the AAP Supremo, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. It's a sad day in the democracy of Punjab today. And let's not digress from what has happened today. Security of 424 people was withdrawn 24 hours back, or maybe 48 hours back, and within no time the young man has been gunned down, and the entire list was given to the media. What are we doing? Where are we headed? What kind of political debates are we doing? We have lost a young man, and it is total apathy of the dominance of the Chief Minister. And I still have confidence in Bhagwant Mann because he understands Punjab. It is only because he's a puppet Chief Minister, and Arvind Kejriwal and Raghav Chadha do not understand Punjab dynamics, and this is happening today. And I request and beseech Bhagwant Mann to stand up for Punjab.
Right, so no political party can claim moral high ground, RSN Singh, because everybody at some point in some part of the country has overseen this. But coming back to the issue at hand and the murder of Sidhu Moosewala, from the allegations that we've seen, from the details that have come to the fore about the threats that he faced, about the ransom calls that were made in the recent past, is there any doubt, RSN Singh, as an independent voice, would you say that this could not have been a lapse on part of the Punjab police?
No, this is once you withdraw security so abruptly, you are sending a message to the environment that this man is an easy target. Who can deny this? And whenever you put additional personnel for security, or whole retinue of of policemen, then it also sends a message that here is a man. Raghav Chadha is a powerful, or whoever it is a powerful man.
Sorry to interrupt you there, RSN Singh. I will come back to you, but some source-based information now coming to the fore as far as the motive behind the murder of Sidhu Moosewala is concerned, and it is perhaps gang rivalry or feud within the industry is what is being looked at. Lawrence Bishnoi and Goldie Brar are the two people that the lens is on at the moment. Goldie Brar is someone who is presently in Canada, is what we're given to understand. Sidhu Moosewala's killing was outsourced to Guns for Hire. This is perhaps the result of a gang rivalry, is what we're given to understand. And RSN saying that gives more reason to believe that perhaps there was something amiss as far as the security apparatus is concerned, because
absolutely,
if we can find out about this information, then the intelligence agencies in Punjab should definitely have known this before downgrading his...
You are so right. If they were so convinced that he doesn't face any threat, and they removed his security, and within no time you see these theories now coming up. Some are in Canada, and maybe, I mean, many of these anti-nationals, Khalistanis are, floating around everywhere, including across the border and within our own country also. There is absolutely. But I want to, this gentleman who calls himself a professor, just because the people have elected to you, does it give you a right to... No. Just listen.
I am a professor. Please.
No. So if you are... No, Mr.
If I tell you, why do you make personal?
I don't feel anything. I don't feel anything.
Okay, gentlemen, let's stick to the issue at hand. Let's avoid. Let's have an informed debate. Let's avoid making personal comments against anyone. I request all my panelists to kindly maintain that decorum. And RSN Singh, go ahead. The way we were talking about the security assessment, the threat perception that perhaps was amiss in this particular case.
There is a larger question here. There is a larger constitutional and an institutional question, and that is that just because if you if the people have elected to you, to be in the government, does it give you the sense of entitlement to threaten the republic they parade? Does it give you an entitlement to say that I am an anarchist? Does it give you an entitlement to get police from Punjab and threaten your colleagues here? Does it give you an entitlement to support those who assaulted the Red Fort? Does it give you an entitlement to say that Butler House encounter was false? Does it give you an entitlement to say that the surgical strike was false? Does it give you an entitlement to hobnob with Khalistanis? Does it give you an entitlement to get loads of funds from the Khalistanis and from the from sources, anti-national sources in Dubai? So this, I said this is a larger institutional and constitutional
Absolutely,
problem.
and if anything, the fact that they have been voted with such overwhelming majority needs to ensure, they need to ensure that they take care of the state and consequently of the country far better, because you have been put in that position with faith in you, and it is time that you deliver on that faith. I will give you an opportunity to respond, Professor Giri, but I just need to get in a quick word from my colleague Bhavtosh, who is getting us the very latest as far as the investigation is concerned. Bhavtosh, what gather from your sources?
But what sources in law enforcing agencies are telling Times Now is that it could be possible that the new formation between Lawrence Bishnoi, Kala Jathedi and Kala Rana, who has been recently deported, this gang could have outsourced the killing of Sidhu Moosewala to Goldie Barar. In fact, Goldie Barar has been very active for past 2 years, and it could be possible that Moosewala's manager Shagan could have planned the killing of Vikramjit alias Vicky Midhu Kheda. Now, it's a bit complicated here that Lawrence Bishnoi gang, in fact, was supporting Sidhu Moosewala, and Lawrence Bishnoi gang, along with Lucky Patial, had in fact given a contract to some sharpshooter to kill Vikramjit alias Vicky Midhu Kheda, and that killing happened in last August. The CCTV footage of that became very viral. And in April, the sharpshooters were arrested by the Delhi Police's special cell. They were presently in the custody of Punjab Police. And then subsequently, it could be possible that the rivalry between the two gangs, between the gang of Lawrence Bishnoi, Kala Jathedi, Kala Rana, and that of the other gang, which is led by Goldie Barar, it could be possible that the entire killing could have been outsourced to Goldie Barar. Right. And then this killing could have taken place. Too early to say exactly who had carried out this killing, but sources within law enforcing agency have said it could be the result of bitter gang rivalry and also the feud in Punjab music industry and also in the playing field of Kabaddi, which has seen several killings. With me, Times Now has accessed the CCTV footage that could be the key to finding out what exactly happened, who the culprits are. These are exclusive visuals of moments before the attack on Sidhu Moosewala. You see a black car passing by. That is the one that Sidhu Moosewala was traveling in. That is the car that came under attack. This CCTV footage will prove key as far as the investigation into the murder is concerned, into linking the culprits to Sidhu Moosewala, his movements, and whether or not they were keeping a track on him before they stopped him and opened fire at him to kill him right on the spot there in Mansa in Punjab, which is believed to be his hometown. That is where he contested elections from not too long ago. And this is the CCTV footage that catches the moments before the murder, in which you can see Sidhu Moosewala's SUV pass by that corner. There are several other cars that pass by behind him and from the opposite direction as well. Whether the attackers were following him, did they come in from the other direction? That, of course, is all a matter of investigation now. But this CCTV footage is going to be extremely crucial in finding that out. And Professor Giri, like RSN Singh was pointing out, the fact that you have been voted to power with the majority that you have, which means now you have a greater responsibility to be answerable to the people of your state.
I know about RSM Singh. I have been on panel for many times with him, and he has a commendable background in military and his research. But these days I don't find him making any sense really. He is biased for a particular party, as I told you, overshadows his logic. So,
Professor Giri, let's stick to the issue at hand. Let's try and not make personal comments against each other. And I make this request to all my panelists.
Then it gets personal. You see, so, I have my respect for him. It's from several panels together, So, no, actually, I'm commending him. I have had a good background in military, he does his research well. But these days, I don't find him making any sense. That's all I say. But anyway, so the point is that the people have been voted to power, whether they have the license to do anything. No, that's not correct. But it has been only 3 months. Don't put everything on AAP's door. Punjab has been ruled by Akali and BJP, then Congress, and these guys have been there for 90 days. I'm not an Aam Aadmi man, but I can tell you that they have been for 90 days there. So don't put everything.
So for how long do you think it's acceptable for people to not ask you questions? You say it's 90 days. Well, let me give you that. It's just 3 months. What can you expect? Even though the Aam Aadmi Party came to the power of the flag that we are going to change the politics of Punjab.
My question is, yes, they will give them time, but RSN brought the vendetta of Kejriwal as a politician. That was not necessary. Red Fort, Republic Day, and all that. That was total digression. You see, now let's focus on this. Punjab, they have been there for 90 days. Give them time. And the security withdrawal was their assessment. If there is no lapse and it is leaked, that is because of that, within 24 hours was murdered, then Aam Aadmi Party will own it up. I can tell you, knowing
So, Kamruzaman Chaudhary, it's just been 3 months for the Aam Aadmi Party. You can't hold them responsible and put them on such a tight deadline. We need to wait. Perhaps the state government and the police should have also waited long enough to get their threat assessment done.
Oh, that's the irony, you need a honeymoon period. Well, how much is the honeymoon period? After one person has lost his life because of your foolish decisions, that cannot be accepted. Now is the time that Times Now has brought out the one likely motive of this murder. But ultimately, when you fix the accountability also, then we can say you are really Aam Aadmi Party. Will Bhagwant Mann or whoever was responsible in removing the security without a threat perception study, or whoever was responsible for publishing that list in the public domain, be held accountable? Or you need still some more honeymoon period for you to be taking हम सीट में तो अभी बैठे हैं, थोड़ा गद्दी अभी सीधा हो जाए, चेयर को ऊंचा कर ले, नीचा कर ले, उसके बाद तब तक तो पंजाब तो बॉर्डर स्टेट है, already half of the things might have been lost. Kumar Vishwas, I don't believe in whatever he said, but before the election, whatever allegations he has brought out in the public domain seems to be coming true. Whatever Channi Saab has already said, that it's all coming true. This same Aam Aadmi Party people, what they commented against Moosewala, who is now no longer there with us. He said that Moosewala's songs, it seems, they promote what you call drugs and promote gun culture in the city, in the state of Punjab. This is the insensitive remarks against a Congress politician or a singer like him, that this Aam Aadmi Party people, they are very expert in character assassination. After they came to power in Punjab, what they did was they sent summons to congressmen like Alka Lambaji. They wanted to pick her up from Delhi. Then you have got some very young boys who are active on the social media, who were criticizing their policies in Punjab. The summons have been sent to Bengal also to pick them up. We have got warrants issued against people of 18 years, 17 years, boys, young boys who have been summoned by the Punjab government. So this is their priority right now. They have appointed 88 odd people at 1 lakh rupees a month in their IT department of the state government's payroll, just to publicize their propaganda. This is the priority of Aam Aadmi Party, and you want a 3 months honeymoon period. This is ridiculous. I don't accept it. After a life has been lost, better be accountable or you better perish.
And we hope the Aam Aadmi Party is forthcoming with some answers on this RSN Singh, because we really can't afford to have a lenient time period for them to get their affairs in order, because Punjab and its security is paramount not just to the people of Punjab but to the entire country.
I'm not much concerned whether a government, particular government makes roads or, builds hospitals. That is, of course, that is what you have been elected to create and perform. Again, I said that this is a constitutional and an institutional matter to ponder over. That should a elected government compromise with this kind of security, basic security of the country, and promote some kind of an indirect or direct secessionism with in cahoots with elements abroad, then what should the constitution do? And how should the constitutional machinery respond to this kind of a threat? This is a question which will will look into your eye every now and then, not only in this case, but this is going to happen. Imagine the anarchy that if a Punjab police, somebody sitting in Delhi calls his, the Punjab police or insists on the chief minister to send his teams to arrest somebody in Bengal, somebody in Maharashtra,
right,
somebody in Delhi, and should the chief minister of another state, he decides to pit his policemen against the policemen of Punjab. Now, what is going to happen? And let me tell you, I exactly expected this. I exactly expected it, and believe me, the worst is yet to come. The worst is yet to come. Sorry to say this, but I say this with great amount of farsightedness and
right,
great deal of responsibility.
Right, and let's hope for the people of Punjab and for the people of this country that that does not happen, that political parties, including the Aam Aadmi Party, account for better preparedness as far as dealing with such security threats are concerned. I thank my panelists for joining us here on this broadcast, but this will remain our top focus here on Times Now. A quick break on this edition. Back in just 2 minutes.